Hello. Hi, this is Ron, Double Tribble, here in New England. About 5 in the morning. Up kind of early or late. Probably late for me. I was up. Yeah, late. This is late. Um, so, I wanted to I've been doing testing all night, trying to get the stream to work. I think I've got it working now. Looks like I got a good level on my mic. Hopefully I've got a good video here, and my let me look at my CPU usage. Yeah, it's maxing out there, so we'll see. Yeah, for some reason I can't get it to use the hardware encoder, so we'll have to go with that, I guess. Anyway, so the title of this stream, Twisted Pair, is about twisted pair wiring. The tale of a twisted pair. When I was trying to get my hardware working for this stream, to do streaming here, I had a hell of a time. I mean, and one of the problems I had, among many hardware problems, software problems, everything, was a bad cable. I had a bad Ethernet cable, and it was really bizarre. It was really hard. It was intermittent, so that's always difficult when something is intermittent. And if it's a cable, you don't think of a cable as a problem. So anyway, what was really bizarre is I was able to ping all over the place with this cable, but when I tried to do DNS, it didn't work. And then when I changed the cable, then it started working. And then later on, I found out that this stupid setting they have set up for the network manager on this, what is this, Plasma? I didn't want to put a lot of time into this thing, so I said, I'll just download this thing from Ubuntu called Ubuntu Studio, or whatever. It's supposed to be just a turnkey thing, right? You just put it onto a USB and load it on your drive, and while you're ready to go. Well, that didn't work. That didn't work at all. And one of the problems, among the hardware problems I was having, was also their network manager is totally messed up, and the installer, if you tell it to set up use the network, it just totally screws it up and it overwrites things. And after I installed the thing, every time I plugged in the Ethernet cable into my computer, the system would bomb. So obviously what was happening is the hot plug was going out there and saying, let's set up the get the connection for the Ethernet, because they just plugged in Ethernet, and because the installer totally screwed that up, I don't know what it was doing, if it was running code somewhere else. I mean, it didn't fail very gracefully, that's for sure. So it just yeah. If you're thinking about doing OBS, wait for Ubuntu Studio to get their stuff together, because it's not ready for prime time. There's a lot of bugs in it right now. So anyway, the way I finally had to do it was just install it without the network. Just tell it, no, I don't want network. Install the thing, and then set up the network separately. So that was just one of the many problems in the hardware, and just a whole bunch of other stuff. I still don't have the encoder going on the thing, so yeah, we're maxing out here on the CPU. It's almost 100%, so it might be, I don't know how many frames per second I'm going here. It's probably not too good. So I'm going to talk about a little bit about twisted pair cabling, because it was kind of been interesting. When I ran into this problem, I had to get more cabling. I didn't have any spare cables here that were working, so I had to pull cable out of the wall and I had to do all kinds of stuff. Anyway, got my crimper tool and and my connectors and all this stuff, and you know, and the Cat 5 cable is twisted pair inside of it. So I said, oh well, let me learn about twisted pair. You know, why do they twist them and all that kind of stuff. So I learned a whole bunch of stuff about that, and I wanted to share that with you too on this stream. Now, for some reason, I'm right now I'm on Stream Manager, and it's not showing me my stream. So I wonder if I'm live or not. It says I'm live, but it's not showing. Stream preview. It's not showing me my stream. It says I'm offline. So I'm not sure why that is. I mean, it says I'm live here. It has a little indicator that says I'm live. But then there's another thing that says that I'm not live. So that's kind of weird. I know what I'll do. I'll go over here to my let's see here. Oh no, I gotta go this way. Sorry for the whacked presentation here, but I'm still learning. So, all right. Well, let me go to over here. Twitch TV / double tribble. I'll just go and lurk up my own stream while I'm streaming and see if it's actually doing anything. So I go double tribble. Oh, hey, let me bring that up just so you, or that might be confusing. I bet. Let's see here. Yeah, it looks like I'm live. It's showing that I'm live there, so I guess it's working. All right. Yep, this is kind of. Oh, there we go. Twitch, Mozilla. Maybe that's. No, that's not it. There we go. Okay. So now if I show my. There, that's me. Oh, look what it's doing. Look at that. Wow. Okay, I guess I should shut that off for a second here. Oh, I know what to do. Alright, we'll backtrack here. This is my content warning. This is going to be kind of bright because Wikipedia doesn't have a dark mode apparently. Not that I could find. So, this is what they were talking about on Twisted Pair. Was you got a whole cool article here about it, and the reason why they do Twisted Pair. Now let me get a cable so I can show you. This one's already open, sort of kind of messed up. This is what my cable actually looked like. I didn't realize it. It was running behind some furniture and stuff, and into another room and everything. So it had this. I don't know if you can see that. It's got. Okay, let me do my. We'll get it. There we go. So it's got these. This is the actual cable. I had repaired it before, apparently, because I got all this heat shrink tubing around it, and then, but it was just all messed up here. So this was intermittent. I'm surprised it was working at all. But if you look at the inside of these things, they have four pairs of twisted pair wires through them. Let's see. You got your orange, green, blue, and brown. That's a Cat 5 cable. And the cool thing the reason they do that is to make it so it's less susceptible to interference, electromagnetic interference. Because if you have two cables running side by side like this, and then you have, an electromagnetic wave coming from one side like this, it's going to hit this cable first and induce some current here, and then depending upon the wavelengths and all that, it'll make this one induce current in this one, and so you end up with interference in the cable, especially if you have a really long cable, and radio waves or waves coming through that would induce current in them. And so what they do is they twist the cables. Let me bring this back up again. Yeah, I'll have this down. I'll have this down to a science here at some point. How to do this? There we go. So, so in this Wikipedia article, they explain all that. And they have these twisted. This one here they show 25 different ones. If you've ever seen the old telephone connecting boxes, I mean, they had tons of these things. And here they've got, originally it was on when they had just telegraphs, running on telephone poles. If they had all of them running, for miles and miles and miles, they'd get a bunch of interference that way. But if they swap them every few poles, they swap them. That's the same as doing a twisted pair on a gigantic scale. So I think what I'm going to do here, I'm going to pull this apart. What else did they see if there was anything else? Yeah, they've got more data. They've got pictures. And yeah, sometimes they put shielding around it. This one doesn't have any shielding on it. They have a little, see these fibers here? When you start cutting into these cables, you see this fiber. It's not a conductor or anything. It's just cotton or whatever, or maybe a polyester or something. That's to add strength to the cable. So when you're pulling the cable through, long distances through walls and stuff like that, you're not pulling on the copper itself. You're pulling on this fiber in there. So it helps a little bit. It adds to the pull strength of the cable. And let me open one of these up, and I'll show you something that's really interesting. So what they do is they cross the cables so that if an electronic or electromagnetic wave comes from the side on these cables, if they're swapping, twisting like that, then they're getting the electromagnetic wave evenly. So it's not going to, and the way these communication cables are set up, they're differential so that one is going a plus signal while the other one goes negative signal, and that's one, in the other. So that when it makes it very resilient to electromagnetic interference like that. But then you think, well, what about when you've got a whole bunch of these? I'm pulling this out here so you can see this. And I'll try to make my picture big again so you can see this a little bit better. This isn't it's kind of a mixed up presentation here. All right, so you say, well, wait a second, couldn't signals from one, you got all these signals running through here, couldn't, if you got all these twisted pairs, what if this one is making a signal and this one won't interfere with the one next to it, you know? Because they're all, you know, they're all twisted, and then they would all be in sync. And so what they do is they specify in the specification for the cable that the twist rate of each one of these has to be different. And I was just going to look at this to see if that's really true on a thing. And I don't know if I can. Do I have a? Let me find something that here's my multimeter here. Can you see this? Is that in focus? Oh, I gotta get a little bit closer. I'm just using a multimeter to measure the wire. Yeah, that's not how it's supposed to measure things, but I'm going to count how many turns for the length of this multimeter. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 and a half for the orange. Let me see what the green looks like. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and a half for the green. Are you able to see that? Focus, is it? Oh, that really has to be close to being focused. I wonder why that was. So what I did green and orange. Let's see, blue is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and a half. And brown. Oh, this one's really tight. Look at it. See how much tighter that is compared to the other one? Look at this. See that? I don't know if you can see that there. See the brown one is really twisted much more than the blue one. See that? The twist rate is much more on the brown. So if you count that, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and a half turns per multimeter. It's an official measurement. Turns per multimeter. So that's that's kind of cool. That's something I learned, and I thought I would share that with people because you know, it kind of makes sense. If they were all twisted at the same rate, then all of them would be in line and in sync, and they would interfere with each other. But this way, it kind of breaks up the interference. It's like when soldiers walk over a bridge. Let me bring this back up here. When soldiers are walking over a bridge, they they designed the bridge now so they don't do this, but old bridges, when soldiers walked over bridges, they would have to, if they were marching. I don't know, this is just a story, I'm sure it's, I don't know. But anyway, the story is that if soldiers walk over a bridge and are all marching in sync, then it'll cause a resonance in the bridge, and it'll cause the bridge to shake and end up falling. And there's videos out there. You can look Google for bridge resonance or something like that, and you'll see all kinds of videos on that. But this is kind of the same thing. You've got all these wires. If they were all in sync, then they would all set up a resonance and interfere with each other, especially if the the bit rates were the same on all of them, which I'm pretty sure they are. So that's kind of a cool thing. So I ended up with a I have a cable here that does not work, and I was going to try to fix that here on stream. Okay, this one is, we got tape around it and everything, so I'm just going to let that one go. That's kind of a mess. But this one here, I pulled this cable here out of the wall. I had put this cable in the wall over a decade ago, I think. Run it down into the basement, and I didn't need to do that anymore. I didn't need that cable there, so I pulled it out to reuse it, repurpose it for this. And I tried to make, can you see that? Yeah. So I tried to make, I put these connectors onto the ends of this cable, and it didn't work. I mean, I tested it, and it didn't work. And it's really a pain in the butt to, I'm sure they have, all kinds of equipment that you can buy that makes it very easy to test these things, but I don't have that kind of equipment. All I have is my little multimeter here, with continuity tester with these things, and I tried to. These don't even reach in. They don't even reach in deep enough to get it. So I found an old piece of equipment, an old power supply or something that had some kind of communication with these Cat 5 connectors like this, and I desoldered them, took them out, and so I stick these on the end of the cable, and then I can test the cable that way a lot easier with the multimeter. So I have another one in here. Let's see. There it is. So, oops, where is that? There we go. So this is not how you're supposed to do it. Don't try this at home. This is not how you're supposed to do it, but so I did it because that's all I have here, and I didn't, I'm not going to spend $100 that I don't have to get a piece of equipment I'm going to use once, So I just stick these things on the end, and then I can put this down here so you can see what's going on here. And I can just easily line these up and. Visible? Can you see that? That's not very easy to see, is it? I'm surprised that's huh. I don't have anything to hold this in. Anyway, when I go through this whole thing, it turns out that there are two wires that aren't making a connection all the way through them. So I've got to rewire this thing. So that one works. I've got to get some of the glasses here. That one works. Oops. 1, 2, 3. God, I can barely see this with these glasses. That one works. That one doesn't. Yeah, the last one there doesn't work. So anyway, I looked at this before, and there were 2 of them that didn't work. 2 of the, God, I really need a vise or something. So there are 2 of them that don't work. So what I need to do is I have to figure out, I looked at this and I couldn't see which one might have an issue with it. Maybe I can tell here looking at this. Let me use the camera to look at it and see which one of these probably is messed up. Okay. This one looks okay. It looks like all of them are making to the very end. And it looks like all of the things are pressed down. For the most part. But this one, looks like it might not be right. What I should probably do is just cut them both. I don't know. I'm not sure what to do with that. Yeah, those all look like they're pretty good. And this one. Oh boy. All right. Yeah, I think this one is good and this one is bad. So what I'll do is I'll cut this one off. And in my tool I had this stupid I had this old crimping tool. That's a cheap tool. It's got plastic in here. Look at this. This is made out of plastic, and it was broken, and it's just a big mess. And then this, it had a screw. There's supposed to be 2 screws on this thing. You can see that. Yeah, see that Phillips screw there. So I had one. Yeah, this screw here they were supposed to both be Phillips screws, and they're supposed to be 8/36 thread, which is kind of weird. It's 832 is the standard, thread pitch for number 8 screw, and this is a 8/36, and I didn't have an 8/36, so I found this Allen round head screw that was an 8/32, but it just happened to be the right distance. It's got to be this far. See, it screws into this piece over here, and it was just exactly the right distance. So when I tightened it in with my Allen wrench, it took about a turn and a half, something like that, to get it tight, so that I could tighten it down without actually stripping out the threads. So anyway, I got this thing limping along, kind of halfway working for me. So one of the things, when you're doing these cables, You have to make sure. Let me strip this off here. Yeah, there's. Well, is that the right thing? Does that work? So you got to get the right distance. And my little stopper is gone on this side, so I got to use this as my distance gauge. And I'll just see. I'm doing this wrong, right? Kids, don't try this at home. This is not how you're supposed to do this. This is look at that. See, this is for if I wanted to cut the wire completely off, but I just want to cut the outer sheath off. But this thing will measure the proper distance. So I'm going to try to squeeze that just enough to so that it cuts that without cutting into the actual wires inside, which may be the problem in the first place. Maybe that's why the other one didn't work, because I was cheating. Alright, so here we go. I think that's the right deal now. So you got these twisted pairs. You got to cut them at the right length in order to, so that when you slide this in, can you see that? So when this slides in, those wires will go all the way to the end of this connector. And then this, when you squeeze it down with this tool, it's supposed to push this this part of the connector down and hold and kind of add some strain relief to the sheath, to the whole cable. So some of these are not. I'm going to run and get another pair of glasses, because these aren't glasses I have on right now are not good enough for me to see what's going on there. Okay, I couldn't find my other glasses. I got these glasses here with tape around them and everything, but at least I'll be able to see what I'm doing. Are we still on? Yeah, I guess we're still on here. Alright. So now I can see a little bit better. Use it. This is what happens when you get older. You can't see very well, and kinds of stuff. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna cut that sheath a little bit longer. Cut off a little bit more of that sheath. Let me use this one. This is one I'm supposed to use. This one is. It just takes the. It just takes the edge of that little razor blade thing there and cuts it. So I'll use that. I don't know if that's good. See, this is probably wrong. See, this is not how you're supposed to do it, but I'm going to cheat here because I got a stupid tool here that's not working, so I got to fudge it a little bit. So now we'll look at this and see if that will go. Okay, so I can go a little bit, so I can trim these off now. Now what I'll do is I'll take this. Now of course the colors have to match up with the right position on this thing, right? Each color has to go to the right place on both ends of the connector, and you can't just arbitrarily. You can't say, "Oh, I'll put the 2 greens here and 2 blues here." You can't just randomly do that. You have to go by a standard. They have a standard that Here's a little printout here, which is not very good. I think I've got a better picture of it on the website here. Let me see if they've got that. Let me pull up that website here, and I'll show you what. Sorry, we're trying to learn OBS here. So sorry, it's gonna take a second here. There we go. All right. So somewhere here they should say what the. Oh no! Okay. It might not even be in this. Sorry, my microphone's way over here. Let's see if they've got in here where they explain what the color codes are for Cat 5. Oh, that's my multimeter making noise at me. Okay, let's see what this one does. Cat 5. There they go. Okay, so they've got it here. So you see, it's not okay. That one has got the orange. This is the one that I use down here, I think. Which one am I using here? Green stripe, green. Yeah, that's it. Orange stripe, blue. So yeah, it's this one. It's this one on top here. Is my cursor showing up on the stream? Yeah, this one up here. This table right here is the one that I've been using. And the reason why you have to do that is because the signals on the connector, on the Ethernet connector, have got to be, they're paired, you know. It's like, it's when one of them goes positive, the other one goes negative, and that's how they, so they have to be lined up with the, remember I was telling you about the twisted pairs. The signal pairs have to match up with the actual physical cable pairs. So you have to get the colors exactly right. It's not enough just to make sure that you get the colors the same on both ends of the cable on the connector. They have to be the colors that are specified by the spec there. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to try to get this lined up here. Alright. Alright. So I'll get this, and I'll just first thing I do, I guess, is just get them all, you get them all in order. Whoops, sorry, Mr. Mike. So we get this all, so I get the green stripe green. That's what it is, what you start out with. Is that in focus? Can you see that? Oh, that's, yeah. So green stripe green and an orange stripe blue. So that's, and the orange and brown are almost the same color, so it's kind of confusing, but it's, yeah, if you have color vision problems, then it's probably an issue. So we got green stripe green. Let's do it like this, it'll be easier to see. So we go green stripe green and an orange stripe orange or blue. And depending upon where you hit it on the cable, they're not. You have to stretch them a little bit to get them right. Green stripe green. There's probably an easier way to do this actually too, but I don't know what it is. They probably have some special tool for doing this even better, easier than this. So green stripe green, orange stripe blue, blue stripe, let's see here. I got that right. Nope. So we got is anybody watching this? I didn't even look to see if anybody was watching. I don't think anybody's watching this, are they? This is all for the VOD, I hope. Oh. Alright, so green stripe, green, orange stripe, blue. So I got that? Do I have that right now? So let's see. Green stripe, green, orange stripe, blue, blue stripe. I'm going to shut the monitor up. My thing is... I'm getting kind of an echo there. Well, the monitor is off. I wonder why that's doing that. Did that fix it? Yeah. Alright. Green stripe, green, orange stripe, blue, blue stripe, orange, and brown stripe, brown. There we go. So we've got it in the right order now, I think. I'm kind of use my pliers to get. I don't want to do it too tight because I don't want to damage the insulation around them. Because I don't want to make any of them short out on me. So this is what I had to do in order to get my to stream on Twitch. This is why it took. That's why I was 2 days late and getting. I thought I was originally wanted to go do my first test stream on Tuesday. But I didn't actually get out there until Wednesday or Thursday, I think. My first test stream. So that's pretty good. Let me trim those so they're all equal, or close to it. Let me trim those so they're pretty much equal. Crappy wire cutters here. Alright. That's pretty good, I guess. Alright, so you push them in here. And it looks like this. Can you see that? Is that upside right? Yeah. So pin 1, it's got to be the orange stripe. Or, what did I do here? Oh, Jesus, I did it wrong. Oh, Jesus, I was looking at the wrong... Oh, my God. That was for a crossover cable. I'm sorry, I gave you the wrong color. I was giving you the color code for a crossover cable. All right, let's do this again. So it should be orange stripe, orange. Oh my goodness. All right. Orange stripe, orange. Green stripe, blue. Let's see, glue down there. Yay. See, this is why we don't want to restrict trade with other countries. So they can. These countries that are expert at doing this, making these kind of cable. They have machines that do this, I'm sure, and robots or whatever. Let's see, orange stripe, orange, green stripe, blue, blue stripe, green. God, I really had that screwed up. I'm glad I caught that before I crimped it down there. Always double check, right? Measure twice. Orange stripe, orange, green stripe, blue, blue stripe, green, and oops, you can't even see it, sorry, I wasn't in the and brown stripe, brown. Alright, so does that match up now? Orange stripe, orange, green stripe. Oh shit, I got the blue stripe instead of the green stripe. Isn't this compelling content? Aren't you just on the edge of your seat? Yeah. Just want to learn how to stream first before I can do that kind of stuff. Let's see here. Okay, orange stripe, orange, green stripe. Which is the green stripe? That's the green stripe. Blue. Orange stripe, orange, green stripe, blue, blue stripe, green, brown stripe, brown. Okay, that looks a little bit better. That blue one needs to be straightened out a little bit. Can you? I'm sorry, I'm not keeping this in the frame of the camera here very well. Orange stripe, orange, green stripe, blue, blue stripe, green, and brown stripe, brown. There we go. Alright, so now I'll trim them again. I think I've got plenty of. Let me make sure I've got enough. I'm pretty sure I've got a lot of space here. Yeah, I can just trim that. So there's some long ones here that I'll trim to make sure. And then we'll slide this thing in here. It's a little short here. The green one looks a little short. Here, let me trim this a little bit. Now there's this thing here is supposed to do that. You're supposed to use this to trim them all straight, but I don't think it works that well. Let me try and see. I don't think this is going to work very well to do that. This handy tool is supposed to let you, is the only tool you're supposed to even need to do this with, but if the tool sucks, it's not going to work very well. Alright. Whatever. Okay, orange stripe, orange. Let's get it in there and see here. As you push these in here, they'll automatically kind of line themselves up with these grooves inside the connector. See that? As you push them in. So let me check this one last time here as I'm pushing this in. So I've got orange stripe orange, green stripe blue, blue stripe green, and brown stripe brown. And they will just automatically, as you push them in, they'll just automatically find their way into the grooves and into the all the way to the end here. See, I did that right. Yeah. So I don't know if that's another little magnifying glass that I was going to use, but this is good enough. I can tell just by looking at the camera here. Yeah, I think I got those pushed all the way through. So you can see it's orange stripe, which is pin 1, orange stripe. Orange stripe orange. Green stripe blue, blue stripe green, brown stripe brown. I think I got them in there. It's the right order. I'll push those in really good. Now these pins here, this crimping tool then, which is screwed up now. It's supposed to fit in here nice, real tight and get it lined up just perfectly, but this tool is kind of messed up. So it's not lining up too well. But if I can get those lined up, I'm gonna see if I can find another. Hang on just a second here. I want to get a magnifying glass or something so I can see those a little bit better before I crimp that down. Be right back. Oh, I'm back. That was quick. Alright. I've got a little jeweler's loop here that I can use to look at those so I can see them really close. Because it's not, this camera's pretty cool, but it's not that good. Yeah, they're all in there really good. Let's see if I can get that to crimp down. So I'm gonna look at this off camera here just really quick, just to make sure it's lined up. Okay, so I'll do this part on camera. So now I'm going to squeeze those down, and that's going to press those metal pieces in. Oops, let me look at it again. Yeah, I think it's going okay. So it's going to press those metal pieces down as I crimp it. Did that work? You can't see it. Yeah, this crimping tool just sucks. That's probably part of the problem why it wasn't working on the cable properly. So, did that work? Did it get pressed down? I can't tell. Can you see that in there? I think they got pressed down. Let me look at it through the loop here. Yeah, mostly they got pressed down, I guess. Now if you look on the side, you can see on the side here, you can see one of the one on the end there. It pushes down. It has little spikes on the end of that piece of metal that just go right in through the insulation and into the copper when you crimp them. So hopefully all of them did that and made contact to all of the at least one. There are two spikes on each of those hunks of metal there. So hopefully one of them on each conductor got in and made contact with the copper. And then finally you got to use the other end of this tool here to this side of the tool, it had little teeth on it that pushed those contacts down, and this one has just more of a blunt thing, and what that's used for is to get in there and compress this plastic into the sheath, which is just barely making contact there, but it presses into the sheath there, and it adds some. I'm going to squeeze that down now. If that didn't feel like it moved very much. Yeah, it's great. You can see there. So that adds a little bit more strain relief on there and keeps that from sliding out. So, and of course something very, very, very important. Very, very important here. Very, very important. See this little thing here? That little clip? Look, I squished it down. It's not even going to make contact anymore. But that clip, you want to make sure that's sticking up like this. A little bit, just enough, so that when you're pulling this cable through behind stuff and through other cables and stuff, so that this little clip here, you want to make sure that clip gets hung up on all the other cables as you're pulling pulling the cable through. They designed it that way just to frustrate people. And then somebody came along right after they made this and designed a sheath to go over it so that wouldn't happen. But that was sarcasm. I need a little sarcasm word or something. That was sarcasm. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass, these connectors when you're pulling them through. You know, especially around other cables and stuff. These things just get snagged on everything. When I pulled this cable out through the wall, I tried wrapping tape around it so that when I tried to gradually have this tape around here and all that, so I could preserve the connector and pull it through the one. It didn't work anyway, so I ended up just snipping off the cable and pulling it out that way. So now let's see if this is if that was the one. If that was the connector that was bad, then I can measure this and it would be okay. Or I can just plug it into a hub or a router or something. But then I might burn out. If there's a short, then I might burn out the equipment, right? So it's probably better for me to do it with a continuity tester. You know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to grab one of these books here. And I'm going to go like this. There we go. That'll work. What I did here. I just run these cables through this book. Maybe I have to get so close to get that in focus. It's kind of weird. Alright, so now I'll put these things on the end because I don't have the proper equipment to do this with. I guess I gotta flip these around. Oh, I got it right. Okay. What do I do with my other one now? There it is. Okay. Okay. This will work out pretty good here. I'm just using this book for this, since I don't have a little vise. I used to have a little handy vise for doing that, but I just recently scavenged it for parts for something else. So this will work. Okay. Now, can we all see that? It's not very clear, is it? Oh, I need more light. Turn this way. Yeah, that's gonna be hard to see. That's okay. So just shouldn't take that long. All right. Hopefully Hopefully you got it. Didn't make a mistake. If we made a mistake, I'm just going to give up. Okay, there we got that one. 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 Oh shit, this one didn't work. Oh, yeah, we got that one. We got that one. Okay, we got them all. But that's not all you got to do, right? When you wire up a cable, there's two things you got to do. One, you got to make sure you got continuity on each pin. But two, and more important, you got to make sure none of the pins are shorting. Now they're only going to short with the ones next to them, right? The way this connector is designed and everything, unless there's a defect somewhere further on down the cable. But most likely they're not going to short out with anyone except their next door neighbor. So what I'm going to do here is, in fact, it doesn't take that long. What I'll do is I'll put the connector on this pin here. Then I'll check pin 1 over here, or 2, or whatever, pin 8, I don't know which one this is. So that connects, then I'll quickly check the other ones to make sure none of them are making contact. And I'll just do that with the other ones here. Just to make sure. So it's I think I got a good cable now. Whoops. I must have bumped that by mistake. Okay, so I got a good cable. At least the continuity tester thinks I have a good cable. So, oh boy, there's daylight outside. How about that? Time to get to work. So, cool. So now I've got a cable, and the reason I wanted to repair this cable is because my computer is. I've got it in a location that's not very convenient for me at the moment for streaming. Oops. Oh shit. Dropped the book. And so I wanted to get this cable so I can move my computer a little bit and get it in a better location. So now what I'll do is I'm going to go grab an old hub. It's probably 20 years old or something, but it works. And I'll plug it into another router, and then we'll plug it in just to see if it lights up. See if it can negotiate just a simple link. So hang on just a second. I'll do that. Be right back. I need a be right back sign here. Here's an old here's a Netgear, just a hub. It's not even a switch. It's just a hub. So I'll plug that in somewhere. That light it. Yeah, I got power there. So now I'll take one end of this cable, and I got another switch in the other room. So what I'll do is I'll plug this cable, one end of the cable into that piece of equipment, and then this end into this little hub, and we'll see if it communicates. Now the one I'm going to plug this into, I'm actually using for streaming right now. So if we lose the stream, you know what happened. You know that I messed up the cable. If we lose the stream, I think it'll be okay. God, I'm making a big mess here. Let's see here. Okay. And the next stream is on topology. Just kidding. Okay, so let me. Okay, I'm going into the next room. Plug this in. Be right back. If we lose the stream, then you know that I screwed up on the cable. Okay, so that was just a regular, I plugged it into just a regular port on another switch, and or hub or whatever. And so, now normally this, since I plugged that into a switch that I'm using in my network here at home, this would normally plug into a computer or device, right? But this is another hub. So if I plug it into here, it's not going to do anything into one of the regular spots. What I got to do is this last spot here is for uplink. So I'll plug it into that one. Let's see if it works. See, this is just a four ports on this hub, and this last one here, they got a little switch, and if you push it in, it makes it uplink, which means that you can like daisy chain these things or whatever. So I'll plug it in. Let's see if it works. All right, cross your fingers. Oh, it didn't work. There we go. See that? It worked. So I repaired this cable on stream. How about that? And it's blinking because I'm see, every time it blinks there is another frame, another packet of my stream going through. So you can see live what the data looks like of a streamer on a stream. Okay. So anyway, that's cool that I got that cable working. So next stream I'll have that cable plugged in to my computer and actually use that for streaming. So slowly but surely I'm getting my stream set up here. This is just to show you what's going on. This is my microphone stand. Look at this thing. This is my microphone stand. Oh, this is the little vice device that I had for holding things that I needed just a second ago, but I used it for this. But look at this. This is I've got this little thing here with a heavy bottom on it, and a spring, and then a pencil. Actually, no, I don't need that pencil anymore. I had this pencil in here when I had this hooked up differently. I actually don't need that pencil in there anymore. I just it's right at the top of here. Is that? Did I mess everybody's ears up with that mic? There. That's pretty good. That's funny. All I have is this little lav mic that I bought on eBay. It's pretty cheap, and it sounds pretty cheap too, I'm sure. So I need to get a mic. I need to get a big mic. I want a big mic. All the streamers have big mics. I want to get a big mic. And I get a big mic stand. I think I'm on the other stream, I think I mentioned that I took a lamp, an old lamp, adjustable lamp. I took that, it was broken, and I took the lamp off, and I was going to use that as a mic stand, so that would be really cool. So now I got a big mess here, but so maybe you learned something, probably not. That's how you repair a cable. That's not how you repair a cable. Actually, I did a pretty screwy job on it. I was successful, but that's not the best way to do it, the way I just did it. But I got the job done. So, and you learned something about twisted pair. So I thought that was kind of fascinating about twisted pair. And you know who invented twisted pair cables? Alexander Graham Bell, the guy who invented the telephone, or maybe invented the telephone. He invented twisted pair. So I guess soon after he got his telephone working, he started stringing wires, maybe from one building to another or whatever, and noticed that he was getting all kind of, his noise floor was real high, and he thought about it and figured out that if he twisted the cable, the wires, that he wouldn't get as much noise from lightning or whatever. I don't know. There probably wasn't a lot of electronic devices around at that time to interfere with it, but I guess there's cosmic microwave background. That's a thing. That causes a noise floor. That to me, that's something I could do a stream on. Cosmic microwave background. Would people be interested in learning about that? Maybe I'll do that in another stream. We'll talk about that. But it's so I've been on. How long have I been on here? Over an hour. Wow. Okay, this is my longest stream and most productive stream. So that was kind of cool. So now I got to go feed the animals. I live in a rural area here in New England, and we've got all kinds of animals here. We've got I put seed out for the birds, and then of course the chipmunks and the squirrels and anybody else who comes along can eat those too. It's almost impossible to keep the squirrels out of bird feeders. I'm sure there are ways. Some people have figured it out, but these squirrels I got around here are really smart. They'll figure anything out. So I did that, and then I had a bear come by the other day. What was it? Sunday or Monday? I think it's Sunday or Monday. And he took down my bird feeders. I have my bird feeders hooked up on a rope, strung. They say string it between two trees, but that doesn't work because the bear climbs up one of the trees and then he can climb out on it. So what I did is I strung let's see if I had more computer skills I could do. What I did is I have can you see that? So there we go. So you got like a tree here, and a tree here, and a tree way over here somewhere. And I strung up a line between pretty high up on this tree to this tree, and then I tied the rope here and strung it to here. And then I have a pulley over here in this thing so that I can lower it and actually put the food into the bird feeders. And then I hang the bird feeders on this line. And anyway, I have some video. I actually have videos of the bear trying getting into the bird feeders. A year or so ago, he tried to get into it, and he wasn't able to do it. And I scared him off, and he hadn't been back for a long time. But yeah, about a week ago, he came, and what he did is he climbed up this tree here, and went all the way up to the top of this, or up to the where this rope was tied off on this tree, and he hooked his claw to this rope and pulled it and pulled it, and of course when he did that, it didn't break because this provided strain. It flexed. It was so it kind of bowed like that, and he wasn't able to break it, but he was able to stretch it enough that he went back down a tree and he walked over here and he could just barely reach this rope with his claw, and he hooked it and then he pulled it down. So those bears are so smart. Maybe I'll do a stream on that. People are probably interested in seeing that, seeing a bear pulling my bird feeders down. Maybe I could do that, show one of those videos and talk about it. So anyway, so I got to do that now. I got to go feed the animals. So okay, so that was kind of interesting streaming. I don't think I got anybody live because I was streaming in the middle of the morning, but maybe some people watch it on the VOD when they see the title. So thank you for watching, and if you think I'm an interesting streamer, click on the follow button, because I've got all kinds of weird and interesting things that I'm going to discuss. And I think that's it. Yeah, I asked you to. I can't ask you to subscribe. I'm not even an affiliate yet, so. But I can't ask you to follow. So, yeah, I guess that's it. So, all right. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. We'll see you next time.